They're the pixelated amphibians that are hopping around the NFT space right now. Let's jump in and check out the Cryptodes. So real quick, hit the like button. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, I've put in chapters so you can fast forward to the sections that you want to navigate the video easier. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. Please do your own research before jumping into the NFT space. It is quite volatile. Now, landing on their website, you can see that this project is super memey. We've got a 0.069 mint price. We've got 69, so 6,969 mints. Now, what I find funny here is that the creator of this is just really leaning into 69s and memes and just having fun with it, which is nice to see because a lot of people are trying to make projects that are about really high quality art and trying to tell a story and have a narrative behind them. But Cryptodes are just literally just almost taking the piss. Now, we can kind of get a look at the images of what they kind of look like here, and they've got a little bit of lore and the story about Cryptodes. Now, when you get to the bottom of the website, what you realize is that the website is very, very simple. It's just really clean, really simple. And I'm guessing they would have also had the mint button here when it was minting. Now, I really like this because they're straight to the point about what it is and they're not trying to hype it up too much when it comes to what it is. And also it plays in with what it should be. And you're getting the information that you need. And also the artwork is just quite childish. As in that style, and looks quite good. Let's jump over onto their OpenSea. We can see here that they've got 7,000 items, 3,000 odors, floor price of 1.82. But the volume here is 12,000. So you may have seen Cryptodes on Twitter. You may have also seen them at the top of OpenSea, like in some of those charts. So this was actually suggested by Fungus. I'd love a video on Cryptodes. Take care. So just like Fungus, hope I'll get your name right. If there's anything that you'd like me to check out and jump in and do a review, just leave a comment below and I can jump in and check it out. Now, going back over to their OpenSea, you can see here that they're not shying away from the 6969, just really putting that out there front and center. It's also nice that it says this project is in the public domain. Feel free to use the toads in any way you want. Now, the reason that I like this is that the creator fully knows that the brand of Cryptodes isn't about what he creates, it's about who the people that are consuming it and interacting with it are. Those people are the ones that are creating the brand. They're creating the story, they're creating the narrative. If you let them have free run to do it and you don't hinder them on what they can produce and do, you're going to build a bigger, stronger brand, because the brand Nike to me is different to you. The brand Cryptodes to me is different to you, and the creator knows this and they're trying to let you have free run of it to do whatever you want, which will just build up the brand of Cryptodes, which is really, really good. So over on Twitter, we can see that they've got 6,600 followers, and then they are posting, they are retweeting, and they are engaging with the community, which is really good to see. Now, what I find peculiar is that it's only got 6,600 followers, but it's been up the top. People are highly trading it. So it shows that they don't have a lot of followers that are just kind of in it for a quick flip. The people that are in this community are really, really deep in this community. So they're the ones that are sharing it and pushing it, which is really good to see. It's not like they've got 60,000 followers and they're a bunch of normies. This is a community that's gone headfirst into Cryptodes and the memeability of Cryptodes. So I really like that they've got this many followers and they've actually sold out their 6,969 NFTs. Now, jumping over onto their Discord, they've got 7,000 people in their Discord. Same thing, we're used to seeing Discords of 20, 30, 40,000 and these selling out in minutes and then they just die off. Whereas this, the community's really building it. So one thing you should maybe take away from this is the fact that if there's a strong community there and it does sell out and it is rising, that base and that foundation is there. It wasn't built on hype to just sell out to hand the cash over to the creators. It was actually built and the community starting to generate and the community starting to run it itself. So that's a very cool aspect about this. Now, let's get into the statistics. Now, the tool that I'm using is Nansen. There's a link below if you want to check it out. It is a little bit pricey, but the insight and stats that you get are absolutely amazing. Cryptodes deployed 13 days ago. So scrolling down and having a look at the price charts, we can see that on the public sale, huge volume. The price has then gone up. Even though the volume has dropped, it has stayed quite level. More volume, it's raised up, and then it looks like it's broken through and found some support at 2 ETH. which is quite nice. This is the average price. And then it's kind of gone up again. Now it's interesting that it's gone up with low volume. Now this day is still open and it still needs to close so we can see where this closes. But what I'm expecting is that when Cryptodes hits another crazy high day of volume, this is going to absolutely explode, because we can see here that when there's no volume, it's going sideways. No volume, it's going sideways. When there is volume, it's pumping up high. So what I'm taking away from this is the next day that there's some volume, it should be pushing Cryptodes much higher. Now jumping in and having a look at the price range, we can see here, look, the max price, the top, the blue line, zigzag up and down, and the bottom price zigzag up and down, but the average price is steadily climbing, which is nice to see. That price isn't going up, down, up, down. The middle price, the average, the green one, is just steadily going up. Now that's really, really good to see, because it shows that even if you've got some people that need to liquidate their holdings just to kind of cover some costs or something, the price is in a steady rise, which is very, very nice to see. Now jumping down and having a look at the individual transactions. Now, dropping the extreme outliers, what we'll do is we'll bring this up and we'll see that the notable buys are denominated by the yellow. Now the notable buys are people that are smart money or people that have a big collection. So these are the people that have bought in, and you can see that it has been across the board. They have bought in down lows, they've bought some high ones, and it's really, really interesting to see that it hasn't just been a huge pump and a huge wave of notable buyers. They've been scattered throughout this whole buying timeline, which is great to see. So we can see that on launch day, a lot of transactions and a lot of unique buyers, and then it kind of dips down, and this was that little pump, and then it's kind of slowing down here. Now this isn't too bad, and we'll kind of jump in later, because if the price was dropping, then this would be a bad sign. But the fact that the price is rising, I've got a theory about why this may be, and we'll check that out on the next page. So this next page is the top balances, and this is why I believe the price is increasing even though the volume is decreasing. So if we jump in and have a look, the top balance, 113, 70, 64, 59, and then we kind of get into the 50s and then the 40s. And if we have a look at the top balances over time, we can see that it's constantly going up or holding flat. There are no top balances that are selling. Basically, what we're seeing here is that the people that are holding are continue to hold and they're not selling, and they're just accumulating more when they can accumulate more. Now, because these top balances are holding, there's less supply on the market, which means that anyone that is selling, and as soon as they get bought up, the floor moves up. Floor keeps moving up. So the people that are selling, and the people that are buying and holding for the long term. So that's how we end up with a chart like this for the top balances, but it also correlates to a chart which is trending upwards. Now, if we jump over and have a look at the unique balances, now we can see that on public sale day, it went up to around 2,500, and then over a week or so, it then went up another approximately 500. And then it's kind of settling at around that 3,000 unique address mark. Now, having a look at the people holding one of the NFTs, we can see at the start, there was a drop and it is just super flat at 62%. Now, I think 62% is a good number. Anything under sort of 50 isn't too bad. And then once it gets to around 40, that's where it gets a little bit biased. And that's when I start to kind of question the ownership distribution. Having a look at the notable owners, we can see here that they've gone up and holding strong, similar to the top balances. Having a look at the diamond hands, we've also got, it's just kind of sitting quite flat. There is a little reduction, so 3,600, and then we've got 3,800. So there's been 200 people that have kind of sold in terms of diamond hands, but they could have been some of the people with multiple, and they've just sold out and liquidated some of their positions to kind of cover their initial cost or reinvest elsewhere. So it's not all a bad thing. Now, this next one is super interesting, and it's a profit leaderboard. Let's jump in and check it out. So we can see the top, 107, 91, 58, and then we kind of get down to the 30s. Now, what's interesting here is that NFTs bought, NFTs sold. Bought 40, sold 39, made 107. Second, bought 10, sold 10. 50, bought 50, sold 50. Bought 50, sold 50. Bought 50, sold 49. So what we can take away from this chart is that the top profit takers are the people that are actually exiting the project and maybe holding one. They're not true believers in the project. They were just in it, made this quick flip, and they've exited completely. But what's super interesting is the fact that this price, it keeps going up and it's still in this uptrend, which is interesting because it shows that all of the people that have made these profits have sold out, but the community and the pricing is still strong. So it's really weird the fact that the top profit takers are people that have left, but the community is so strong and they're kind of buying in and they're supporting it, and it just keeps going. So that's a very interesting takeaway that we can make from this chart. Now, the last few charts that we're going to look at are the addresses that are buying and the types of people that are buying. So the top 5 buying addresses, we can see here that there was a big purchase here by Rare NFT Collector. We can see this here, which is crazy. But in terms of the pricing, they're all kind of buying around that 2 floor, and then we've got some rares that they're kind of purchasing up around these marks. Going down, we're looking at the legendary collectors that are buying. We can see here that apart from this one at 20, there was a big crazy one at 55, and they're all at this 2 ETH mark, which is nice to see. Now, I can only go off the data that I've got and the tools that I've got, but I find this hilarious. When it comes to smart money buying, there's no data available. So what I'm thinking is, if this chart is correct and there is no data, it means that no smart money has bought this. And it kind of makes sense, because when you land on this page, it looks terrible. Like, it looks great, but it's terrible in terms of what a smart buy would consider, because it looks like it's a joke NFT. But the thing is, the internet likes to take stuff and run with it, and that's why I think it's had this crazy success. The fact that it's saying that smart money isn't buying, that's great. It almost makes me want to ape into this project, because it's almost like a middle finger to the people that want to collect NFTs. This is almost like this club in this community that Cryptoadz have built up themselves. They think about this as funny, as memey, and they really want this to rally, which is crazy. I love it. I'm all for it. And then if we jump in and have a look at the recent transactions, very, very active. 13 minutes ago, 21, 49, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So overall, what's my take on Cryptoadz? First off, I don't really like this art style. I don't like it. If I had actually jumped in and saw that the mint price was 0.069 and there was 6,969 units, I would have actually bought. I would have thought that was funny, and that 0.069 was a great risk and a great gamble, and something that you could really talk to your friends about and go, hey, check out what I bought for 0.069. There's only 6,969. This is the type of project that you would invest in, because it's great to kind of have a beer and talk with your mates about the dumb purchases that you've done. But then when I jump in and have a look at the stats don't look too bad. We've got the price rising, which is great to see. We can see that there's some notable buyers buying in, which is great to see. We can see that even though the volume decreases, the price is increasing. Everything's pointing to this project being a great buy and something great long term. And I think that you almost need to look past the art and past what it is, and actually have a look and decrypt what the community is actually doing within Cryptoadz. And they're obviously big advocates for it. They're pushing for it. They love it. And that's what I think you need in a great successful project, because a project is only as good as its community. And this shows that it's all about that community, which is really great. So I'd like to know your thoughts on Cryptoadz. Be sure to drop a comment below about what you think about Cryptoadz. And if there's any NFTs you'd like me to check out, drop them in a comment below and I'll get around to them. Like I said at the start of the video, this is not financial advice. Please do your own research before jumping in and investing in the NFT space. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing, because I'd really appreciate it. And until next time, that's your boy NFT Nate, out.